Hello again, Nithyananda, starting part 9 of Anahanta Chakra from this book here, the beautiful book, Guaranteed Solutions by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So what is Anahata Chakra all about? So Anahata Chakra is located in the heart region and gets blocked by attention, need and approval seeking. So I have been reading a couple of pages, maybe 2-3 pages from the chapter of this book, and just seeing what comes up as insights, what comes up as clicks, expansion of, well, myself, my inner space expanding into Dominic. Hey, my spiritual best friend, Nithyanandam Dominic, my guru brother. Yes, my spiritual brother, Nithyanandam. Okay, so coming back to Anahata Chakra, heart center getting blocked by attention, need, and approval seeking. So up to now, we've been looking at what is our definition of love itself. And if we can start with looking at the definition as it should be, which would make sure that we are operating from the right space, then we could likelihood create less of a mess in our relationships with others and ourselves and life, etc. So anyway, talking about dropping attention need. So yesterday I left off at this point here. So Swamiji says, yes, anyone wants to clarify anything? So there's a question from one of the participants and I'll read it. Swamiji, what about love between a mother and a child? Is it not selfless love? So somebody's asking Swamiji. Swamiji replies, even motherly love comes with expectations, Ma. Many times, people have confronted me with arguments when I say this. Let me tell you, a mother loves her son all right. But at the end of the day, there is a non-perceivable, unwritten expectation written on that love. If the son rubs her on the wrong side just once, the first words that would come out would be those telling the things that she had done for him since his childhood. A small dent in the relationship is enough to bring the whole thing out. Real love is the expression of the existential energy in you, and this love can never think of such arguments, any such arguments. It only knows to flow without a reason. It doesn't know to maintain any track record. It doesn't know to keep track and connect with the past and argue. It flows because it overflowed, that's all. It never questions because it does not know to question. The moment you cite incidents from the past, it means that the expectations were always there, hidden behind your love. And when it is this way, it can never be real love. Understand that. It is the same way when it comes to the son also. The son loves the mother, expecting her to look after him, expecting her to wake up at 5 and pack his lunch for him, expecting her to maintain his clothes for him without missing a single day. He adores the mother because he enjoys the care and concern. I think I missed something. Care and concern, the luxury. A small story. A boy was learning fractions in his school. One day the teacher asked him, if there was a cake and we divided it into 5 portions and gave it to each of your family members, what fraction of the cake will you get? So the boy replied, 2/5, ma'am. The teacher asked, how? Haven't you studied your fractions well? So the boy replied, ma'am, my mother will give her piece to me if I like the cake. You see, mothers want to sacrifice for their children, all right, but the attitude with which they sacrifice is what we are talking about. They should do it out of simply and overflowing in them, not out of any hidden expectations. These events will never get recorded in them if they do it out of overflowing. And even if they get recorded, they will not surface like a vengeance when things like this happen. Only when they do it as a duty-bound love, they will record these incidents and recall them also. Common love always thrives on expectation. No one can deny this. Although everyone may vehemently try to, the expectation in love is so well woven into it that it is hard to perceive it and very hard to believe when someone talks about it. Actually, as long as things go smoothly, it is difficult to believe this. That is so true. But we hear of so many cases where sons and daughters are written off from the family for simple reasons, simply because they married outside the community or simply because there was some feud in the family. Where did all the love disappear suddenly? Until such incidents happened, the son or daughter would have been loved very much in the family. The so-called love would have reigned supreme. What happened suddenly? Why did it suddenly disappear? How can it suddenly disappear if it was a real love? This is not the kind of reaction that real love will generate. Real love can never confuse itself with anything else because nothing can make it stop from flowing. It is not bound by any cause-effect cycle. Even in subtle family issues, if you are deeply aware, you will understand how bound your love is. Just try to rearrange a few things in your life and watch how your own family will react to it. I'll just pause there for a moment. Up to now, I feel that we've been looking at husband-wife relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, these kind of relationships. But really, it is quite interesting that Swamiji is pointing out the relationship between mother and child as well, and how that is also bound by expectations. And when there is expectation, of course, existential energy is not flowing at that moment in time, so that's not the real expression of love. So it's quite interesting. Another layer, I'm finding another subtle layer is opening up, where I'm seeing that where are all the places we are bound by the misunderstanding of what love is, what it is in reality, and how we perceive and experience and live it, and operate from. So I feel that revisiting this chapter again and again is really helping me. I don't know how it's working for the people that are actually listening to the videos that I'm making. But I find that there is so much depth, and it really is important that we start by first, I'm reiterating myself, by first looking at our very definition of what is our definition of love, what is love, and how do we operate from that current definition and what is available to us as the actual experience. So the actual experience that's available is obviously existential energy, which is not bound by expectations, which is not bound by approval seeking, which is not bound by attention need. It is not bound by anything that is going to shrink or limit or punish, judge, etc. So there is another part of it, which is, again, Swamiji has given yesterday, for instance, he gave us how we could start to connect with it. How could we discover the qualities of our being that is already love? So we are already love, but our current definition that we have adopted from society, if you like, is taking us away from who we truly are and what we could truly experience and be fulfilled by. Okay, so I'm going to continue this. I mean, it's quite interesting that today Swamiji is talking about mother-child relationship as well. We would celebrate the child if they get the good marks, or if they don't get good marks, then we take away the what we call as love. So this punishment, withdrawing of the attention. Usually when the mother withdraws the attention, the child feels like mom has stopped loving me. Isn't that interesting? So even in subtle family issues, if you're deeply aware, you will understand how bound your love is. Now, how quickly we are ready to break a relationship when things go not according to plan, when they're not going according to how we want them to go. How quickly we're ready to give up, how quickly we're ready to break that relationship will give us an insight into whether we're operating from existential energy, which is pure love, or from transactional love, transactional relationship, which we label as love. Just try to rearrange a few things in your life and watch how your own family will react to it. With your children, as long as you provide for them in the name of love, they also enjoy living out of your graciousness in the name of love. As long as you don't rub each other the wrong way, it is all right. If either of you behaves in an unexpected fashion, the mood of the love changes. The whole flavor changes. It doesn't take much time or effort for the flavor to change because it is not a natural flavor. It is an artificial flavor with an artificial coloring. I just love the way Swamiji very simply starts to point us in the direction of why our relationships are not fulfilling us, why we're constantly looking for the other person to fulfill us and it's not happening, and how actually if you tune in to who you truly are and start connecting with that, then that itself will start fulfilling us because we're already fulfilled. So we're a fountain of love already, and how to access it. Attention need and approval seeking is acting like a big stone that's been put onto that fountain. And when we remove that stone, then automatically love overflows from us. Then we don't need to seek anything from the outside. We're fulfilled anyways. So that's where I'm going to stop today. And again, I'm going to invite all of you to have a look at some of the past videos that I've done, which has some of the exercises or processes that you could play with, which is one of them is to take care of somebody else, to take care of a complete stranger for a short while before you take care of yourself. Okay, just to test out, what does that feel like? Why would you even start caring for somebody that is not related to you in any way? What happens when you do start doing that? What kind of energy becomes available? Let's play with it. Let's see what happens. So if you have already played with that, which Indrajit had, Indrajit Bains, Nithyananda, and you'd already played with that and she shared yesterday, please share a deeper insight. And others who are watching, you're also welcome to this process. So those of you who've been watching, I'll say hello to you all. Sita Singh, Nature, Funk, Amen Madden, Steve Lay, Suranga. Oh yes, hello Suranga Nithyanandam, and Max, Monica Frick, Tiki, Carlos, Dominic. Yes, I said hello to Dominic. So I'd like to say hello to everybody that's been watching. I'll be posting this video onto YouTube as well, my YouTube channel. If you want to catch up on all the other parts, do. But the more I'm reading from this chapter, the more I am getting convinced about the reason why I should be experiencing life and existing from, operating from existential energy more than any other superficial, artificial way of existing. So that's what I'm getting convinced about as I share more and more of this with you. Let me know what is happening for you. You can leave it in the comments box. You can ask questions. But yeah, it'll be great to see what you are experiencing in this adventure. I did call this an adventure when I first started reading this chapter. So anything that you'd like to share, let me know. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Take care. Nithyanandam.